it's a great day in every way. This is your lady. It's a great day in every way. This is your lady, Dr. Lotus Riche. And today I am here on Books to Boom Your Business with my incredible guest, none other than Councilwoman herself, doing her best, not stressing, doing everything to stay away from the mess, our beloved Councilwoman, Ceretta Smith. So, with no further ado, I'm looking straight to you to go ahead and tag a friend and come on in and share this broadcast, because we are going to be talking about her amazing book that you definitely want to get right here from Books to Boom Your Business. Go on in and get her book before she even comes to the show. Get her book, The Diabolical Duo. What? Jealousy and Envy, The Diabolical Duo. So, with no further ado, I'm going straight to you to bring on my amazing new guest. So please welcome my guest, Ceretta Smith. You know, everybody wants to get their business booming. They want to get their business booming right where they are and globally. Well, guess what? There are books that can help you get your business booming. And I am Dr. Lotus Riche from Lotus Riche Ignites Coaching and Consulting, and I'm here to bring to you speakers, authors, and change makers that's going to help you get your business booming. So come on in and get in where you fit in, because I've got amazing speakers like Dr. Ceretta Smith. The author of Baby, Jealousy and Envy, The Diabolical Duo. Coming straight to you on this free, check it out, free webinar on books to get your business booming. Right here in this private Zoom room. And guess what? We're going global, because we're going to also show it on Facebook Live. So we'll see you there. Get in where you fit in and get books that get your business booming. See you on the other side. Woo-wee! It's on and popping, baby. Hey! How you doing today? Dr. Ceretta Smith is in the house. How you doing, Doc?
Hello. Beautiful Dr. Lotus Riche Ignites. You're on fire as always. I'm so honored and humbled to be here today. Excited to hang out with you always.
Fantastic. So, you know, we're delighted to have you. I want to thank you first and foremost for coming on Books to Boom Your Business, because we know without a doubt that we cannot boom in our personal lives or even in business if we don't have a schematic, something that's going to help us get to the green bag. And your books help people to do that. So I want to get right in, and I want to thank all of you around the world. If you haven't shared this broadcast yet, please go ahead and share this broadcast with your friends, your frenemies, and everyone you know, because it's time to hit the button and go. So, Dr. Ceretta Smith, councilwoman. Okay, we know that you are a councilwoman. We know that you are a speaker. We know that you are an author. We know you are a show host, all the way from Augusta, Georgia, by way of Fayetteville, North Carolina. So welcome. I'd love for you to share more with our viewers about yourself, if you would, please. And then we'll jump right into your amazing book and give your 5 tips.
Well, thank you again. I'm Ceretta Smith, born and raised in Fayetteville, North Carolina, military brat, U.S. Army veteran. And I live in Grovetown, Georgia. People say Augusta because they don't really know Grovetown, but we're going to put Grovetown on the map. I've been here, came here by way of military. I am an author, singer, songwriter, published, have a CD. I'm a union activist, labor rights activist, civil rights activist, human rights activist, councilwoman, mother, wife, new Gammy. First grandbaby. I love people, Lotus, and the call that is upon my life is leadership. And it is to lead people out of darkness into the light where their purpose is, and to help people walk in their destiny and be the leaders that they've been called to be in this earth realm. That's my call. That's my mission. It's not about me, but it's about the gifts that I've been given. And we have those gifts to help others, not to keep for ourselves, you know, not to get rich and fat and hoard up for ourselves, but the gifts that we've been given, the blessings that we have are truly to help other people. So I am the leader sheep.
I love that. I love that. Grovetown in the house. If you're in from Grovetown, make sure you let us know that you're in from Grovetown. Give us your support. And if you are seeing this on replay, go ahead and call all your folks in from Augusta as well as Grovetown. That's where she's hailing from right now. So thank you so much. And Ceretta, I love that you say, Doc, that you are leading and you really do a great job in leading in leadership. That's a part of your calling, to help people in leadership really step into the essence of who they are and what they're supposed to be doing. In your books, you have several books to your credit, but today we are going to be talking about your new baby, your new release, Jealousy and Envy, the Diabolical Duel. So let's talk about that. What inspired you, first and foremost, to be an author? Because this show is for all of you authors and aspiring authors out there. So we'd like to let people share their stories about that. Ceretta, take it away.
So I was in Germany back in, I want to say about 99, 2000. And I talk about in my very first book, it's called The Black Sheep. That's how I felt. You've had me on the show before. I've talked about the book, The Black Sheep. That's how I felt growing up in a blended family, being bullied and teased in high school. And so when we don't deal with our trauma, when we don't deal with the wounds and the hurt and the pain of childhood, adulthood, teenage, you know, your teenage years, when we don't deal with that trauma, it follows us. We age and mature and we change physically.
Yes.
But the emotional wounds and scars, if we don't put in the time and energy to heal, it goes with us. So I found myself in Germany having this encounter with God, where He is retooling me completely, changing my mind about me, about life, about all these things. And one day, I heard this voice say, "Look up sheep." And when I looked up sheep, the first thing that appeared was the black sheep, right?
Yes.
And so that began my journey, my dermabrasion, if you will.
Yes.
The layers are coming off, the layers of all of the trauma and all of the things I've endured from birth to that moment in time. And He said to me, "You are a leader, and you're going to have to write a book about this, because there are other people who feel like they're the black sheep. There are other people who have this same syndrome, these same wounds and scars and hurts and pains of rejection and not feeling like they belong. And they don't really know that they're leaders deep down inside. They're leaders. That's who they are." And so that's how the first book, my very first book, came about, was about that journey that I went on to self-discovery and finding out that in the natural, a black sheep is a leader sheep. And that's really who we are, leaders.
Wow, that's excellent. So if you out there, if you feel like you're a black sheep in your family, on your job, or just in your personal life, you still have a story to tell. And your being a black sheep oftentimes is the strongest part of your story, because there's somebody else out there on the planet that feel the same way you feel. And you don't have to take it from me. Take it from Dr. Ceretta Smith, the councilwoman, the author, the activist, the speaker, the trainer, the show host. Take it from her, because she's been there and she knows. So the more you know, the more you grow. Yes.
One more thing I want to add. Even after coming back from Germany, I still wasn't obedient, and I still hadn't written the book.
Wow.
One night we had a couple over for dinner. And we were just talking about life. And he said, "I'm the black sheep of my family." I almost fell out of my chair. And so I began to share with him the revelation of the black sheep. And in that moment, he began to just say, "Oh my God, you have no idea how this has changed my life. You got to write a book about this." And so very shortly thereafter, I wrote the book.
Wow. So black sheeps have a powerful story too. So wow, thank you for sharing that. Because sometimes people don't want to be transparent about that. They don't want to say that, I'm the black sheep of my family, or I've done some things in my life that, I feel like I have black sheepish, if you will, black sheepish qualities, right? So if you're the black sheep, just know you have a story too, and your story needs to be told. Somebody needs to have the message from you. I love that. So with that being shared, let's get into this title. First and foremost, the diabolical duo. I love that part. It reminded me of Batman and Robin, but jealousy and envy.
Yeah.
Jealousy and envy. Now, this happens, Dr. Ceretta, this happens at school, at home, in church, in business, in the airport. I mean, jealousy and envy is everywhere you turn. So, what inspired you, one, to come up with the title of this book, and then to write this book? Because this is a tough topic.
Well, it is a tough topic. And this book was inspired based on my experiences. Not that I was jealous and envious of other people, but I kept finding myself in situations and relationships where, these two spirits kept creeping up. Yes. And I could not understand, because I think I'm a pretty nice person. I'm a giving person. I'll give you the shirt off my back. And so I just couldn't understand the attacks and the betrayal and all of the negative energy that comes with these two first cousins, as I call them in the book. And so after years of experiencing betrayal and woundedness and just, it's like, what in the world is this? Why do I seem to keep attracting the same types of friends and getting in the same types of relationships? I had to take a pause and really, really, really understand what was going on. And I talk about in the book a dream that I had. And so, I don't want to go too deep. I don't want, get into anything that might scare someone off. But I talk about a dream that I had where God actually, it revealed to me that I have been dealing with jealousy and envy. These are the things that I have. These are the attacks that were constantly coming at me, were jealousy and envy. And a lot of people think they're the same thing, but they're not. And so that's where the confusion kept coming in for me. That's why I was having such a hard time understanding and recognizing and dealing with these attacks that were coming, because I was equating the two separate things to be one thing. And so as I began to research and get really deep into it, I began to understand there's a difference between jealousy and there's a difference between envy. But they're like Batman and Robin. Wherever Batman shows up, Robin is there. Behind. Okay.
Yeah.
So wherever jealousy is, his first cousin, envy, is not too far behind. They're so connected and intertwined. And so people need to be able to understand the difference, even for ourselves, so that when those emotions, when those feelings, when those thoughts begin to come up, in our minds, in our hearts, we're able to say, oh no, wait a minute. That's jealousy. Oh, no, that's envy. I'm not going to allow myself to be sucked in and consumed by what someone else, where God has positioned somebody else and what God has given to somebody else, because he has a place for me and he has things that he wants for me as well. And so that's how this book was really, really birthed. And I trace it all the way back to the beginning of time, what we could consider or believe as the beginning, where it originated. Because you got to go back to the Genesis and find out, well, how did this all start? So I go back and talk about that. I go back and talk about Cain and Abel, who give us an example of the first, a lot of people call it sibling rivalry. It's a lot of different things that people tag it and name it. But at the core, at the root of what's going on, is jealousy and envy.
I love how you put that, because here's a thing, and I want to bring you back on the show, another show, maybe on the Ignite show, because I really want to discuss this, because you talked about jealousy and envy coming. It starts in the home. Most of the time it starts in the home. And so a lot of times I think that parents don't realize that they oftentimes perpetuate the jealousy and envy. And you probably got that in that book too. But we're going to bring you back on the Ignite show, and we're going to talk about that as well, because it's going to take us some time to talk about that. So if you want to hear her back and talk on that, bit on that topic, go ahead and put a number 5 in the comment. Put a number 5 in the comment, because as you see, she's a miraculously wonderful speaker. So thank you for talking about that. And jealousy and envy are related, so don't get it twisted.
Don't get it twisted. And I do. I have a chapter in the book where I speak specifically to parents about dealing with this issue at an early age and explaining it at an early age, and not allowing it to fester and grow and become a part of their children's behavior and character. You've got to deal with it in the house as well.
I love that. So you got to deal with it at home. And to our listening audience, are you someone that knows someone, or has this happened in your home where you have experienced jealousy and envy, or even on your job, or even at your church? We have a lot of that. Well, sister so-and-so, she got that big old hat on today. She thinks she's looking good. And that, it's everywhere. So have you experienced it, and how have you overcome it? How have you overcome it? And also, don't forget, get that book, because it's going to help you help yourself. Okay, so with that being shared, I wanted to give you the opportunity to share with our audience 5 tips on why it's important to write their book, because we talked earlier, and you talked about being the black sheep, or you felt that you were the black sheep of your family. And we know black sheep have stories. So why is it so important for people that feel like they have a book inside of them, to get that book out?
Just like the story I shared, here I was, this gentleman and his wife here at my home. We're just talking about life. We're fellowshipping. We're just talking about life. And there he goes, I'm the black sheep of my family. And so, there's somebody out there that needs to hear your message. And you talked about being transparent. Everybody is not able, people, you Ceretta, you just put your life out there for everybody to know about. Well, you know what? I want someone to be healed from my testimony. I want somebody to be delivered from my testimony. I want my testimony to help propel and change the trajectory of somebody's life, so they can get about being about their purpose and their destiny and leaving their mark. Because the graveyard has more potential in it than any other place. So many people have left this earth and they never tapped into their potential. They never have even began to live and dream and live the life that they were destined and purposed to live. And so if putting my testimony and my life out here, if it helps one person, then I have a legacy that I'll leave in the earth realm. And my mark, my living and my life won't be in vain. So that's the reason, because there's somebody else that's going through what you're going through.
Yes.
They're afraid to talk about it. They're afraid to even say, I need help. They're afraid to acknowledge that they're in the state or condition that they are in.
Yep.
When you tell your story, you open up a valve and a release and a way to begin the journey of healing and that process of moving into what it is they've been purposed and put in here to do in the earth realm.
Yes, I love it. Angie says we all have a legacy to pass on. So the question, book readers, book writers, and those that want to be a book reader and a book writer, what legacy are you going to leave behind? You can start it not only with your children and the way you live, but what you write and what you read. Okay, so I challenge each and every one. You take the phone or the iPad or whatever you have and go ahead and share this broadcast. And for those of you that's replaying, thank you so much for the replay. Share this broadcast with someone you need and need to have this broadcast and know that you love and care about. So with that being shared, that was tip one, folks. That was tip one. You might be a black sheep of the family, but guess what? You have a story. That's your number one tip. You have a story, and it's time for you to write that story. Okay, let's talk about number two.
Don't overthink it. I said, me? Write a book? I don't know how to write a book. I've never written a book before. Yes, you. Yes, you. Don't overthink it, because if you overthink it, you'll constantly talk yourself out of it. You'll constantly talk yourself out of writing the book. Don't overthink it. Don't overthink it. And what do you have? First thing you have to do. What is the message? What's the message? The message was the black sheep. That was the message. And so you just sit down and you have to get in a quiet place and you begin to frame your message. Go back and look over your life. And then based on your life and the journey that you're on and the steps that have led you to the place that you are, what is it you want to say? What is it that you want to tell people about where you were, how you started? Like they say, it's not how you start, but it's how you finish. Where you started to where you are in that present moment. How did you get there? And that's the framework of your book. That's going to be the framework of your book. The steps that you took to get where you are in that moment, on the other side of being free, on the other side of embracing that you're a leader and this is your life. That's how you frame your book.
I love that you said identify their message. And you went a step further and you asked them a very compelling question to compel them to do the critical thinking. What do you want to say? Okay. Now, keep it simple. I love that you said keep it simple. Okay. And don't overthink it. Don't overthink it. Just keep it simple. Identify your message. And with number three, she said, identify your message. And she also said, with number three, when you identify that message, what do you want to say? Well, I wanted to stop you there because a lot of authors say that they get this thing that's called writer's block, and they don't know what they want to say. So, I love that you brought that up, that they need to identify what they want to say. Let me ask you this. What if they want to say something that might raise some eyebrows or something like that? What would you say about that?
Hey, be bold. I have another book called Lord Deliver Us from the Diva. And it was a very controversial book because people were like, oh, you're getting in people's business. Listen, God gave me a message. And again, I was like, well, so is saying it, and this high profile person is, I was like, really, God, little old me, like, who's going to listen to me? But I tell you, I was at a women's conference, and at that women's conference, this was the message. This is where the book was birthed from. And I went back inside to sign a card, and there was a basket that they had. And I just couldn't, I was like, I can't give this message. But when I gave the message, the room exploded, right? Because there were so many women who were struggling with this topic. So be bold, be brave. Listen, the message is not for everybody.
Hello.
But you have a people that you've been called to, right? Yes. You have a specific people that you've been called to. You just write the book. Market it, put it out there. They will find you. The people that need what's in the contents of this book, they will find you. You just write the book.
I love that. And I want to share this with you. I see we have our guests are chiming in. Gosh, man, our viewers are amazing. Miss LaDonna Maccabee, she says, hello, ladies. She said, just start. That's it. Just start. Don't worry about what the days are going to say. Just go ahead and start. Angie said that she loves the framework. It's easy to follow. So that's a great thing because it's easy to follow. And LaDonna says, be who you are. Be who you are. Make sure you be who you are. And of course, Ceretta's doing double duty. There's a link right there, and we're going to talk to you guys about that link in a couple of minutes. So we've given them we really gave them 4, but 3 great things already. So let's give them one more. We'll take a quick break, and then we'll come back with the final one. And then we're going to talk about how can they connect with you. And for those of you that pick up this book today, once you connect with me, I'm going to have a special gift for you. You've got to take a snapshot when you get this book. Make sure you take a snapshot when you get this book, and you're going to get a special gift from me right here from Books to Boom Your Business. You can get her book at Amazon. Go right there to Amazon and pick that book up today. It's a very wonderful read. You'll be happy that you got it. So let's get right into number 4. Number 4. What is your number 4?
So my number 4 is to give yourself a timeline and stick to it. And in giving yourself a timeline, also find yourself an accountability partner, right? Come up with a timeline. I want to have this book done in 90 days, 60 days, 30 days. And then find yourself an accountability partner. Maybe it's someone, a book coach like Lotus, someone who coaches people in writing books. But you're going to have to find yourself an accountability partner, someone that's going to hold you accountable to make sure that you're sticking to your timeline. You've got to set a date. You've got to give a date to it, because if you don't, it will never come to pass, because you'll just keep saying, oh, I'll do it in a couple of. You have to establish a timeline for yourself and get an accountability partner, someone that's going to hold you to that timeline.
I love that. And I'm going to tell you why, because that's even happened to me most recently. I have a book that's getting ready to come out, and I was in 2 other anthologies. So I said, no, let me put my book back, because if I'm going to be a part of somebody else's project, I want to be present. I want to be able to give my all and give the energy and be supportive. But what happens is you'll push your own stuff back if you don't give yourself a timeline and an accountability partner. So let me tell you about my accountability partner that's doing my funnel. He sent me a message again and said, hey, we need to get this done, blah, 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 blah. My team is always on top of me, Dr. Lotus. This is the target date. We need to make sure my spouse is always on top of me. Honey, you need to make sure you get this out. I hear you're doing so much to help people, and that's great, but you've got to look out for you. You've got to get your book out there, because here's the thing. Not only do you get your book out there, somebody around the world is waiting to hear the message that your book is going to bring to them. And it may inspire them also to write their own book. So, wow, this is dynamic. If you love what she shared about everything she shared, but this right here, give yourself a timeline, okay? Because it's going to hold you accountable, and get yourself an accountability partner. Man, put number 4 in the comment. Put number 4 in the comment. I've got Sherelle D. Mims. She's an amazing lady. Just did an anthology with her. Thank you so much, Sherelle, for being here. Angie said number 4 is very critical to help accomplish the task. So, LaDonna, I want to say thank you for sharing what you shared as well. And Miss, I see so many people starting to jump on. Miss K put her number 5 in there. I love that. And yes, have Dr. Smith back on the Lotus Riche Night Show. That's my other show, folks. If you haven't heard of that, we're going to bring Dr. Ceretta Smith. She is a councilwoman. She is an activist. She's an author. She's a speaker. We're going to have her back. So your number 4, wow. I love it. So we're going to take a quick break, folks. We're going to come right back for her number 5. Please stay put. Please stay put. And Sherelle says, I am traveling in Hampton, Virginia. Wow, she's on the road watching the show. Thank you so much. And Angie said, plus you get to enjoy the fruits of your labor. Yes, the fruits of your labor, because your gifts will make way for you and help support you and your life. So we're going to be right back after this quick commercial.
We did it. We made #1 Amazon international best-selling for our amazing book, Caregivers Expression Anthology, the Mother's Day Edition, Volume 1. And we couldn't have done it without your support. So we thank you, and we look forward to seeing you on the other side of caregiving.
Wow. So I want to thank each and every one of you that helped us to make #1 internationally best-selling on Amazon. It was an amazing ride to the #1 spot, and I thank you. So if you're just joining us, I have an amazing, I got to take some water. Throat's dry. Ooh, that's that good old lemon water too. So we have with us today our amazing guest. She's a councilwoman, she's a speaker, she's an author, she's an activist, and she is someone who can inspire you with her new book, because this book in and of itself will help you distinguish the difference between jealousy and envy, right? And you can get this book today on Amazon. Go ahead to Amazon and grab your book. Her book is titled Jealousy and Envy, the Diabolical Duo. Get your book today. So we are going right into #5. So I am going to give you the full screen as you share your #5 tip. Thank you.
Enjoy the journey. Enjoy the journey. Don't stress. Don't stress yourself. Enjoy the journey, in knowing that I can promise you that when you get that book in your hands, when you're actually holding it in your hands, the joy, the pride, just all of the great energy and the emotions, the good emotions that you feel, seeing that you have accomplished, first of all, what the Father has put into your heart to accomplish, because these are his words to our heart, to these pages, to the masses of the people. And so enjoy the journey. Don't stress. Don't beat yourself up. I got writer's block. When you get writer's, more than likely you're overthinking it. You're overthinking it. Just let it flow. Just let the words flow. Just let the vision flow. But #5 is enjoy the journey. Enjoy the journey, because this will, if you once you get through this first book and you have enjoyed the fruits of it, then the next book and the next book and the next book, it will flow a lot easier. It won't be as tedious. So enjoy the journey. Enjoy the journey.
As you can see, you can find her book right here. While you're enjoying your own journey, you can enjoy her journey. You can go right here to Amazon. Very, very, $10 for the paperback. It's amazing. And you can look right here and get a little read from it, okay? I'm going to read this, and then I'm going to ask, before we close, if you would read a passage from your book as well. So I want to share this. Jealousy and envy that goes unchecked can wreck or wreak havoc on relationships and be deadly, both spiritually and naturally. Many ignore or deny the influence and power of jealousy and envy operating in their very own lives. In this book, Dr. Smith gives insights into how this diabolical duo works and what you can do to ensure that you don't fall prey to the lie of their deception. It's a must read for every spiritual leader, parent, teacher, or marketplace leader. So with that being said, I invite you to get your copy of the book. You can go right here to Amazon. It's only $10. Okay. And so with that being said, I would love for you, Dr. Ceretta Smith, to read a passage from your book.
Awesome. And also the link that I put in the comment section was the link to my bookstore. If you get it from my bookstore, you'll get an autographed copy from me. Unfortunately, when you get it from Amazon, you don't get the autographed copy. But if you go to the link in the bookstore, you'll get an autographed copy from me. Jealousy, chapter 1. It says, jealousy and envy are often used interchangeably, but they are slightly different. And while they are slightly different, I like to say they are first cousins. How many of you know? How many of you know that a first cousin is just as close to you as a sibling? Growing up,
Yes.
I had a first cousin, and she called me her shadow because wherever you saw her, I was likely right behind her. She was, and still today is, more like a sister than a cousin. So most often, wherever you see jealousy, envy, its first cousin is right behind it. That's why I refer to them as the diabolical duo. You
Woo!
get it. You
I
gotta get
love
it.
it. I love it. I love it. I love it. If you love that, if you love it, short, sweet, and to the point, you got to get it. You got to read it. Get that book. Make sure you read it. Listen, folks, it's right here for you. Go right there on the bottom of the screen. Get your autographed copy today. Use that link. That link is going to take you, to her store where you can go ahead and get your copy of her book. You can get her products online right here at our store. You can see the diabolical jealousy and envy, the diabolical duo. You can also get La Ovilla Negra. Okay, make sure you get that. Okay, in Leadership 101, Lord deliver us from the diva. You can get that. The black sheep is right there, and then she got another, the black sheep right there. Go ahead and visit her, but make sure you get her books because they will help you change your life for the better. I so appreciate you for sharing that with us. Simply amazing. And so don't forget, folks, when you get your book, make sure you send me a snapshot of it. Let us know that you got it so that we can give you a wonderful gift in your hand for joining Books to Boom Your Business and supporting our amazing authors that come on to help people all around the world become the authors that they desire to be. All right, fantastic. So with no further ado, I want to say to you, what's coming up next for this amazing councilwoman? I know you got some other stuff that you're doing. Talk to us about it.
Yeah, I am, as I stated earlier, I am a union activist, labor, civil, and human rights activist. And so I'm currently running for national vice president of my district. I'm with the American Federation of Government Employees. We are the largest and only federal government employee union in the United States of America, where we have about 700,000 employees. My district covers South Carolina, Georgia, Florida, Tennessee, Puerto Rico, and the Virgin Islands. And so I am currently running to become the national vice president for that region to continue my fight for federal government workers, veterans, and working Americans.
I'm loving that. So she's currently running. I invite all of you, if this is something that you are passionate about, be sure to connect with her and go right there to her books. You can connect with her there. You can connect with her on Facebook. Connect with her. Direct message her and let her know that you saw her right here on Books to Boom Your Business so that she can connect with you and you can support her in her run and help bring her to victory. So as we about to close this broadcast for today, Dr. Ceretta, again, we're so humbly happy to have you here. We look forward to bringing you back on one of our other shows to share your kindness and your wisdom and your zeal for what God has given you. We'd like you to take this time right now to have your final words of wisdom right here on this show, the Books to Boom Your Business, because of course we want to hear a bit more from you of how we can all go and how we can grow with Books to Boom our business and our own personal lives. Dr. Ceretta?
Well, first, thank you for having me on the show. Thank you for all that you do in the world to help make it a better place through all of your efforts and the things that you do. I just want to encourage people today that, again, you have gifts that you've been given. Don't sit on them. Don't let fear paralyze you and stop you from doing what it is that you've been put in this earth realm to do. You are fearfully and wonderfully made. There's so much greatness on the inside of you that's just waiting to be tapped into. And I want to encourage you to take that step, take that leap of faith. And I promise you that once you take it, You will go places, you will encounter people, you will have experiences that you never dreamed or believed for yourself, because I'm just a little old girl from Fayetteville, North Carolina. And if anyone had ever told me that I would be doing the things that I'm doing today, I never would have believed them. But because I dared to say, I'm going to do it, I'm going to step out and do it. And then God has done the rest. And that's my encouragement to you today. Don't allow fear to paralyze you. Step out in faith and take a leap and watch him do the rest.
I love that. I love that. Wow. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Simply amazing. So until we meet again, make sure you connect with her today. And always remember, there are books that will help you boom. And to all of you that helped us to make our show a success, and for our #1 international best-selling author book, we thank you. So be sure to follow us on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, and just all of the social media platforms. Until we see you again, make sure you ignite and take flight in every area of your life, and read and create books to boom your business. Have a great day.
Thank you for watching the show, and be sure to follow us on Instagram. Like and share, and let us know that you care. Also, let us know what other type of shows you'd like us to present just for you. Thank you.